Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my October book haul. So fun fact, I actually already filmed this video halfway through once and then realised I never hit record. So that was fun, and now I'm going to start again. Yay! So as I mentioned in my November TBR, if you saw that video, I've been getting basically a shit ton of books from my library at the moment. I've been trying to get as many books as possible to fulfill the reading challenge that I'm trying to do this year for the categories that I haven't got to yet. So I have a lot of books from my library to talk about that I picked up this month, and then a few books that I bought with my own money that I'll talk about at the end of the video as well. The first book that I picked up this month from the library is one that I actually already talked about in my November TBR and one that I have actually already read, and that is House of Leave by Mark Z. Danielewski. I'm not going to say too much about this because I have already spoken about it in my TBR and I will be talking about it in my mid-month wrap-up, but I picked this one up from the library this month. The next book that I picked up from the library is Cry of the Cat by Emily Rodda. This is the fourth book in the Teen Power Inc. series, which is a children's series that I read when I was younger and I've decided to reread. I haven't read any of them yet, but I have the first three already, and so I picked up the fourth one as well this month. The next book that I picked up is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I've been trying to read all Jane Austen's books this year. I've mentioned that a couple of times on this channel. I'm now fairly certain I'm not going to make it through all the books this year. I've so far read Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park, and Emma, and I now have Northanger Abbey, which I do think I'll get to this year. I don't think I'll make it to Persuasion or Lady Susan, which I'm also hoping to read. But yeah, I'll hopefully get to those in early 2016, but I do have Northanger Abbey to read. The next book that I picked up from the library is Captain Corelli's Mandolin by Louis de Berenier. I'm sorry, I'm completely butchering that name. This book I actually picked up to fulfill the challenge of reading a book a friend recommends to you. I asked my friend Emma what was her all-time favorite book, and she said this is the best book she's ever read. So I'm really looking forward to reading this and seeing how I enjoy it. I'm not really sure what it's about. I believe it's a romance set during war times, but I'm not 100% sure. The next book I picked up from my library was Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. There is a reading challenge on the list, which is to read a book that you were supposed to read in school but didn't. I was too good of a student in that respect, and I read everything that I was supposed to. So I decided to reread a book that I read in high school that I didn't enjoy in high school, but that I am hoping to enjoy more now that I'm older and more mature. So I read Brave New World in, I think it was in my final year of high school, which was like 10 years ago now because I'm really old. But yeah, I'm hoping to read this and enjoy it more the second time around. Next we have Beware the Gingerbread House by Emily Rodda. This is the fifth book in the Teen Power Inc. series, which I spoke about before. So yeah, this is just the next one that I picked up as well. Next we have Matilda by Roald Dahl. Fun fact about me, Matilda is one of my all-time favorite movies. It is the first movie that I ever remember seeing at the cinema more than once. It is the first movie I distinctly remember seeing it in the cinema twice. I absolutely love this movie. I have read the book before, but there is a reading challenge, which is to read a book that was published the year you were born. I was born in 1988, and I was scrolling through the list of books that were published that year, trying to find something that interested me, and I was just going to pick something at random because nothing was really taking my fancy, and then I saw that this was published in 1988, and I was really excited. As I said, I've read this before, but I haven't read it in years, and like I said, I flippin' love this movie, so I'm really excited to read this. The next book that I picked up is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. This is to fulfill the challenge of reading a book based on a true story. I believe this is based on is it the last woman who was ever executed in Sweden? Is it the last woman or the first woman? Is it Sweden? I'm not even sure it's Sweden now. Anyway, this is based, no, Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland. This is based on true events. So I picked this one up. I had already had this on my list of books I wanted to read and just happened to fulfill that challenge, so I picked this one up from the library. The next book that I picked up from the library is The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. This is another book that I've had on my list of books that I've wanted to read for a while, and it is to fulfill the challenge of reading a book that has a colour in the title. White being a colour. As I said though, I have wanted to read this for a while. It's pretty chunky. This is a classic mystery book that I've been wanting to read for a long time, so I'm looking forward to picking this one up. The second last book that I picked up from the library this month is Hot 6 by Janet Ivanovic. This is just the 6th book in the Stephanie Plum series that I have been reading this year. We'll continue to read, so yeah, this is just the next one in that series. And the final book that I picked up from the library this month, because as I said, I picked up a shit ton from the library this month, is The Glass Arrow by Kristen Simmons. This is to fulfill the reading challenge of reading a book by an author with your same initials. This author's name is Kristen Simmons, my name is Karen, which starts with a K, and my surname begins with an S. This was surprisingly hard. I scrolled through a bazillion authors whose names has the initials KS, and I didn't recognize a single author's name except for Kristen Simmons, and I was really excited when I saw her name, so I was like, yes, okay, this is a book that I can pick up that I'm actually excited about reading. I believe this is set in a kind of fantasy world where women are really rare and therefore they are hunted by men. That's all I really know about it, but I was definitely interested in reading it, so I'm glad that I got to pick this one up. So those are all the books that I got from the library, but I also purchased 5 books myself this month. The first of those that I got is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I'm not 100% sure what this is about, but it has been described by basically everyone as being Titanic in space. That's good enough for me, and as everyone has said, this cover is freaking gorgeous. Like, this is one of the most beautiful covers I think that there is around. I really, really love this cover, so I was definitely happy to get myself a physical copy of this one. The next book that I bought is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. This is a book that I have already read. It's one of only 2 books that I gave 5 stars last year. I really, really loved this book. And actually, fun fact, I saw the movie in October, which I hadn't seen before, and it was really good. I actually wanted to reread the book before I watched the movie, but it is quite a chunky book, and I just have so many books that I'm trying to get through before the end of the year, so I decided to just watch the movie because I have read the book before, and I recommend the movie if you haven't seen it, but you've read the book. But yeah, I really love this book. Everyone should read it, basically. This is an amazing book, and yeah, I really wanted to get myself a copy, so, and I really love this edition as well. It's really beautiful, so yeah. The third book that I picked up this month is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This is the third and final book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I have the previous 2 books now as well. I haven't read it, but I now have the complete trilogy, so I look forward to reading this one. The next book that I picked up is Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. This is a book that I've heard a lot about, and I believe this deals with an incest love story between a brother and a sister, which seems like a really, really odd and difficult topic to read about, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and so I really think that this is something that I will enjoy despite the subject matter, just because of everything I've heard about it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one and kind of seeing what I think about it. And the final book I picked up this month is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I haven't read this. I have seen the movie, which I know this is supposed to be a children's movie. It is freaking creepy. Like, I don't find movies scary or really books scary either, but this movie for a children's movie is genuinely creepy. Like, I watched it and I could not believe that this was a movie meant for kids. Like, it's creepy, and I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to, I heard it was a book. I don't think I knew that before I saw the movie. I saw the movie quite a few years ago now, but like 2 or 3 years ago, I think. I don't really remember, but I really enjoyed it. I don't think I knew it was a book. I now know it's a book because I'm just, well, better informed, I guess. So I discovered it was a book. I wanted to read it. It's really short, obviously, because it's a children's story, and I'm really looking forward to picking this one up as well. So those are all the books that I picked up in October. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you think. What books did you guys pick up in October that you're most excited about? I'd love to know and talk to you guys down below. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more. But that's all I've got for this video today. Bye, guys.